We've been telling you this morning about the 235 Canadians now on the Grand Princess cruise ship, which is being held as we speak off the port of San Francisco. Passengers are not being allowed off until results from COVID-19 tests come in. The presumptive case now being investigated in Alberta is a woman who had been on that ship. At least 45 people are now showing symptoms. And a man from California who'd been on the ship has now died. So that's happening there. In the meantime, this story, I'm guessing, is sounding all too familiar for our next two guests, friends of the show, Rose and Greg Yerex, who are now back home. Yes, I said home with an exclamation point. We're so happy to hear this. We've been checking in with Rose and Greg as they've been stuck in quarantine on the cruise ship and then in Japan for the past month. Rose and Greg got the all clear earlier this week. They are now home at last. Hey, guys, good morning and welcome home.
Good morning, Lindsay, and it's wonderful to be home.
Oh, I can't imagine the feeling. And I understand it took, what, 30 hours to travel from your hotel in Japan to your front door in Port Dover. What was the very first thing you guys did when you got home?
Hugged our son.
Aw, I bet. And then what?
Oh, it was...
Opened a bottle of wine.
Good for you. I hope it was a bottle you had been saving for a while. You know, at this point, you'd been stuck there for a while, so I'm sure it was a bottle you've been saving for a while. Yeah. I always think about, you know, when you're gone for a long period of time, that first shower, too. I know you guys had a lot of laundry to do. So walk us through sort of the last several hours for you guys.
Oh, man, it's still been a bit of an emotional experience. So you've got the, you know, happiness to be home, gratitude to be home. You know, there's still people in Japan in quarantine dealing with this. And then, again, you're hearing about that cruise ship. So feeling of deja vu, and just, you know, still happy to start getting back into our normal routine, doing laundry, and just talking to people. We're still self-quarantining here, so a lot of our contacts have been through Skype just like this because we want to keep everybody around us safe.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. So you both have decided to stay in self-isolation until March 14th. Why did you make that decision?
Well, you know, there's a lot of unknown about this virus, and our community has been absolutely behind us 100%. And we don't want to make anybody the least bit nervous. So even though the government says, the Japanese medical team says, and the government says, we're good to go, no problems, we came home going, you know what? We can spend another 14 days just picking up the pieces, putting our lives back together, and give these people the reassurance that we're okay, we're safe, and that we can come back out into our community and enjoy it fully.
You know, Greg, my heart was going out to you because, you know, Rose and I have had a chance to speak several times, and you kept getting that positive swab, waiting for that negative swab, both negative swabs to come through. What was that like from an emotional standpoint for you?
Scared to death. An emotional roller coaster. I would brace myself up and say, I can beat this. I get another test, and I would sink right to the bottom and have to get Rose to pick me back up again. She's been my lifeline in this whole thing. She's a rock.
You know, we've also remarked here with my crew at Your Morning about how strong you guys have been. Is it one of those things that you've been strong throughout the process and now you can kind of exhale? You're home now. Do you find that the emotions are coming now?
Yes, very much so. You know, it's such a relief that, you know, the props, the barriers that you put in place to kind of keep those fears and emotions at bay, all of a sudden, you got to start dealing with it.
I'm thinking about those people, the 235 Canadians specifically on that cruise ship off the coast of San Francisco. You guys have just lived this experience. Now that you've got some perspective, what do you think should be done? What could be done better?
Just hopefully that the quarantine procedures they put in on the ship, I hope they learned from ours, the mistakes that were made because it was never done before. And we fear that maybe some of it wasn't as well controlled as it could have been. That's only guess. Crew, authorities, everybody did everything I believe they possibly could dealing with an unknown circumstance. I have no regrets and no anger towards anyone. they did a wonderful job. I just hope that they learn from it, and this one is even better.
Rose and Greg, we just so appreciate you checking in with us. And one of the things that you were saying, that you had a bag of chips that you had to ration, Rose, and I know how much you love chips. So what we did here at Your Morning, we put together a little chip package for both of you. So I know we want to see you in person. So I have this waiting, and you didn't tell me what your favorite flavor was, so we kind of have all of them. So we can't wait to see you. This will be waiting.
To actually tasting it.
I know, absolutely. We look forward to seeing you both in person in studio, guys. Thanks so much.
We'll be there.
All right, now.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.